Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and look at this, even Bitcoin.com is covering the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. Here's a headline from a brand new article today. Ripple CEO discusses potential outcomes of SEC lawsuit over XRP. And I'll tell you here, even at the outset of the video, that Brad Garlinghouse said, quote, that it's as if the case has been lost, end quote. Which, look, in a way, this is comforting, as it probably can't get worse than it already has gotten. So I hope I don't regret those words. But if that's what if effectively that's the life that we're already living, then how could it get that much worse? Now, I say that understanding that, except, of course, if you're an XRP holder in the United States, then it gets worse. And I'm in the Midwest in the United States, and I understand that, the freedom to, access XRP, which is alphanumeric code, I get it. I could actually lose that ability. It's absurd. So what would that mean for me? From a legal perspective, that's what I'm concerned about. I don't know exactly. Now, of course, XRP, thankfully built in decentralized exchange on the ledger, but still, I don't know what the legal implications are of me continuing to hold, or what if I do sell? Like, what does that even look like? I don't know. It's just going to be a mess. So things could get worse for the United States, but in terms of XRP's long-term viability, So I'm going to cover this story, but I also got some other stuff, including newer comments from a couple attorneys within the XRP community having to do with some of the Coinbase stuff. I also want to briefly touch on this article from BitcoinMagazine.com titled, U.S. Senators Condemn Fidelity Investments Bitcoin 401k in Open Letter. But before going any further, I do want to be clear that I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. The Watcher Guru Twitter account, which I'm becoming increasingly fond of, tweeted out the following just 5 hours ago. Just in. SEC Chair Gary Gensler says the agency is working with crypto exchanges to regulate them like securities exchanges. Now, reading that, okay, fine, it's perfectly reasonable for Watcher Guru to report that. It's a report, but we know that that's not actually what's happening, right? So Attorney John Deaton retweeted that a few hours ago, and he wrote the following. He is not working with exchanges. He is telling them to agree with him that the tokens are securities, so he can then claim jurisdiction over the asset class through surrender. We need to unify and only accept his resignation. Yeah, that would be absolutely delightful. And then there was also this. Attorney John Deaton, this one's from yesterday, but he wrote the following. Coinbase tried to work with the SEC from day one. It delisted XRP, didn't launch Lend. I'll just pause a note as a quick reminder. Lend is a program that Coinbase wanted to launch where you could earn interest on your cryptocurrencies. So anyway, John continues, said it delisted XRP, didn't launch Lend, and a big reason it's being hammered is because it cooperated with the SEC. When I read the Ripple complaint, I filed the mandamus suit and said the SEC is coming for all of crypto. It's war. Fight to win. Chris Larsen did a presentation in 2013 to the SEC, Federal Reserve, FinCEN, and others on XRP. He settled with FinCEN in 2015. Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, David Schwartz met with the SEC 2018 through 2020. LBRY, and Jeremy Coffin, who's the founder of LBRY, also being sued by the SEC, cooperated for over 3 years. All of them have been or about to be sued by SEC. Translation. If you hire or go to a securities lawyer and he/she advises you to cooperate with Gary Gensler's SEC, fire them and don't pay the bill. Yeah, that's about right. Because you'd think in a normal world, the best thing you could do is have open, honest communication with the SEC, be very transparent just to make sure that you abide by the law. That will backfire. It absolutely backfire in this world. I know it sounds completely ridiculous, but that's the truth, which is why Attorney Jeremy Hogan has publicly stated on more than one occasion that if anybody that has come to him for legal advice on operating, launching a crypto business in the United States, he says, yeah, don't launch it in the United States. That's how bad it is. And then there was this from an XRP community member who is an attorney. His name is Bill, and he retweeted something from Paul Gruel, who is the top chief guy, legal guy in-house at Coinbase. And Paul Gruel said, "I'm happy to say it again and again. We are confident that our rigorous diligence process, a process the SEC has already reviewed, keeps securities off our platform. And we look forward to engaging with the SEC on the matter." Okay, so think about that. They have a rigorous process. It's fantastic. The SEC is aware of it. But you know that Coinbase, they did list XRP, but then they delisted it. So what in the ever-loving hell is going on there? Well, Attorney Bill had the following to say. "If your process is so rigorous, why did you list then delist XRP? One decision must be wrong. Either your rigorous process failed and you listed a security, or you cynically delisted a crypto you knew was not a security to appease the SEC. Which one is it? Ask LBRY how engaging and cooperating with SEC worked for them. Good luck. You'll need plenty of it. Also, you admit you are engaging with the SEC and they reviewed your listing process. What does the continuation of this engagement involve? Are they now vetting what you list before or after a listing of a token? Given the SEC is desperately seeking to increase its jurisdiction over crypto, some transparency about the nature of Coinbase's engagement would be appreciated and expected by the crypto market." Yeah, and perfectly reasonable, fantastic thread, and I love the way that he points this out. Now, we're not going to get that transparency from them, I don't suppose, anyway. So how is your process so rigorous and awesome sauce, yet you second-guess yourself and remove XRP? Of course, you know that the truth is they just acquiesced like the little wimps that they are once the SEC made the proclamation that they believe that XRP is a security. And so to that end, we even got this from Gary Gensler today, and this really just burned my biscuit, so I had to tweet out something a couple hours ago. So Gary Gensler earlier today tweeted out, "We have rules in our capital markets to safeguard market integrity and protect against fraud and manipulation. If a company builds up a crypto market that protects investors and meets the standards of our our market regulations, people will more likely have greater confidence in that market." Is that right? I'm just so disgusted by everything. And look, he's probably not even typing this himself with his fat little fingers. He's probably got some other little fat little fingered social media dork that writes all this crap for him. But still, just even seeing his stupid little face gets me upset. And so I responded with the following. "You're not protecting anyone with this crap. Everyone wants you to just stop. So the fact that you proceed forward anyway is a sign that you're a terrible creature. You should feel tremendous shame." Think about this. If there's nobody clamoring to solve a problem, and there's nobody complaining about getting bamboozled in the world of crypto other than the actual scams, and so we'll set those aside. That's fine. I understand there's actual legit scams. Outside of that, if you just look at the regular blockchains and cryptocurrencies out there, if there's nobody actually complaining about them, then who are you protecting, Gary? And that's what I was getting. You're not protecting anybody. Nobody wants you to do this, but you're just doing it anyway. Something is terribly wrong here. And so this was really comical. So LBRY, again, being sued by the SEC, they wrote something hysterical this afternoon. It's on your screen. It reads as follows. "Our opening offer for a settlement is the complete abolition of the SEC and 10 years in jail for Gary Gensler." LBRY, I like it, but I don't think you're asking for enough. You should start asking for a little bit more, frankly. And then there's this. So how has everything actually been impacted? Well, it's as if XRP, already doesn't exist in the United States. It's as if, the way things are today, it's as if Ripple has lost the case, which is disappointing. And so here's the headline from Bitcoin.com. Ripple CEO discusses potential outcomes of SEC lawsuit over XRP. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse discussed the lawsuit brought by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission over XRP earlier this month in an interview with Axios at the Collision 2022 event. The SEC sued Ripple Labs, Garlinghouse, and co-founder Chris Larsen in December 2020, alleging that the XRP sale was an unregistered securities offering. Ripple disagreed with the SEC and has since been fighting a legal battle with the securities regulator. Now, during the interview, Garlinghouse was asked what would happen if he does not get a ruling in his favor and XRP is deemed a security. The Ripple executive quickly emphasized that in that situation, XRP would only be considered a security in the United States, and he clarified with this quote, The SEC only has jurisdiction in the United States. And in some ways, how the world is operating right now is as if the case has been lost, end quote. So think about this. You're seeing tremendous increase in adoption of XRP as a bridge currency via Ripple's on-demand liquidity. I believe it was the beginning of May where I had the pleasure of reporting that on-demand liquidity adoption had increased year over year, something like 800%. That's amazing. The market has spoken. They've decided XRP is functionally useful, and that adoption is just going to continue. So if Ripple's just not going to operate in the United States, fine. And for a while, I thought, well, maybe they just still operate to some degree in the United States, but they'd use a different cryptocurrency for corridors touch the United States. But Brad Garlinghouse has actually since then said, no, if we lose against the SEC, we are entirely exiting the United States. So thankfully, XRP is already thriving despite the fact that it's as if Ripple has lost, and Ripple actually continues to thrive despite this fact. That's incredible. So that's all really good news. So in terms of long-term viability for XRP, I'm very optimistic for that reason and so many other reasons, of course. But it's just kind of weird to think in such terms, which is why, in a way, it's kind of comforting, even though it sucks that we all have to deal with this. Piece continues. He added that investors cannot trade XRP in the United States on most platforms. Coinbase, for example, halted trading of XRP soon after the SEC filed the lawsuit against Ripple. And here's another quote. If Ripple loses the case, does anything change? It's basically just status quo. Ripple is still growing very, very quickly. That's a direct quote from Brad Garlinghouse. Emphasizing that he is betting that Ripple will win the case against the securities regulator, the executive affirmed the following. Here's another quote from him. I'm betting that because I think the facts are on our side. I'm betting that because the law is on our side, end quote. So I watched the video too. So he was also citing, it's not just the fact that there have been some really good pre-trial rulings, and there have been, obviously, but the facts and circumstances clearly are on the side of Ripple. And then Brad also said the following. It's another quote. I think the SEC has massively overstepped and is trying to take kind of jurisdictional ownership over something that is, I think they saw this gray area and they're like, hey, we're going to go in. It's frustrating. It's taking this long. There's a lot of companies, I think, that realize how important this case is to the whole industry. Truer words have never been spoken. So meanwhile, it's not just the SEC and Kim Jong-Gensler that are trying to ruin the lives of everyday citizens, in particular in the United States. We also have some sitting senators that want to wreck financial opportunity, life-changing financial opportunity for the everyday person. Take a look at this article. I came across this thanks to attorney John Deaton. And it comes from Bitcoin Magazine, titled, U.S. Senators Condemn Fidelity Investments Bitcoin 401k in Open Letter. So, in a nutshell, there are senators that do not want you to use crypto in any capacity for any percentage of your retirement. And they're pushing back against this. What the hell business is it of theirs? This is unacceptable. And so attorney John Deaton wrote the following on this. He said, my God, pun intended, who do these politicians think they are? Elizabeth Warren, Senator Durbin, Senator Tina Smith. Who are you to decide what's too volatile for all Americans? Take a look at Amazon's chart. The nanny state is a serious problem in this country. And I say bravo to that because I could not agree more. I don't need them to, quote unquote, protect me. Anytime they protect me, what they actually do is take away my freedom to run my life as I see fit. I don't get to make this financial decision for myself. I need them to protect me. These are the wizards of smart. These freaking idiots. I don't even know how they get the shirts on in the morning. Like a Bitcoin maxi troll. They probably also wear Velcro shoes and helmets when they're walking around. And that's necessary if you're a Bitcoin maxi troll for sure. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea for these idiots either. Does anybody else find it insulting that they think that they know better for you than you do for you? I do. And even if some people are that stupid to make poor financial decisions, it's still their damn freedom. It's their right to make these poor financial decisions. I'm disgusted by this. And the Documenting Bitcoin Twitter account also noted that over the past decade, Bitcoin is up 266,000% roughly. They don't want you to have that access. And this is just the beginning. Like the markets are so illiquid, which by the way, they cite as a negative. They literally wrote that as a negative. That's a positive. There's so little money in this right now because it's a fledgling industry and a brand new asset class that it won't take much money flowing in to get prices bid up very quickly. They don't want you to have that opportunity. Like this, so what is clearly a selling point, and I've articulated this so many times over the years, they say that's a reason you shouldn't have access to this. My God, these people. I'm just so repulsed by it. That's why, like, anytime somebody says that we need more of this, we need even bigger government, I'm like, what in the ever-loving hell are you talking about? No, I'm not against government, but how about maybe a small, reasonably sized government that allows the people to have sufficient freedom? Because all they're trying to do is take that from you. They literally are seeking to take away your financial freedom. I'm just repulsed by it. So Gary Gensler and all these idiot senators, I pretty much had enough with them. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.